Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 12th and final round.
Right hand, Golovkin steps in and down he goes again. Unbelievable. Mayweather makes him pay. What a rookie mistake. A sensational left hook by De La Hoya.
It's facts. I'm the best. You know what I mean? Sometimes I don't want to believe it myself, but it's the truth. I'm the best. I'm going to show you how great I am.
From Southern California, this is the Last Round Podcast.
Episode 7, Mike. How are we doing today?
Good. Busy weekend, full of boxing.
Busy weekend, but not as busy as today's show. Because who do we got in the building today?
Probably the biggest guest so far. We have John Molina Jr.
John Molina Jr., who we should be asking about a fight that he was supposed to fight on September 30th, but unfortunately, circumstances beyond his control.
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
It didn't happen.
What you gonna do when they come for you?
It did not happen.
Yeah.
And obviously, you're supposed to fight Victor Ortiz.
Yes.
And, you know, before we jump into that, we appreciate you coming out here.
Yeah, no problem, guys.
And it was going to be here, Ontario, California, Citizens Bank Arena. And obviously, Victor Ortiz had some personal issues that came to light, which was how many days before the fight that it came to light?
4 days to be exact. I was in the steam after a hard workout. We go into the steam. I have my phone, obviously, in my locker. So I get out of the steam. I'm not in the steam for weight loss, guys. I'm in the steam to get rid of the lymphatic drainage when you work so hard.
I'm sure somebody was thinking that, like, what is he doing?
Yeah. So just for you casual fans that don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I was in the steam after a 2-hour workout. I get out of the steam. My phone is frozen. I had phone calls from TMZ. I had News Reporter, Los Angeles Times, or my phone. I was like, what the hell? Phone call from my management, which is big. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then I get into the car. I'm like, oh, my wife gets through. She's like, oh my God. She's like, your dad just called. I was like, what? Did you hear what happened? I said, no, I didn't hear anything. I'm in the steam. Turn on the radio, News 980. The fight with Victor Ortiz and John Molina Jr. may be canceled due to the rape allegations. I was like, what? So right away, I get on the phone. I call my team. Hey, what's going on? Don't worry about it. He's out on bail. Fight's going on. You know, at this point, I'm 3 pounds away from weight. So, you know, you got to, and I'm on a very, very specific, strict diet, which sucks, but it's my job. So I remember going to bed, you know, with my water. I had my 2 gallons of water that I had to drink that night. Thinking, okay, everything's cool. I got confirmation that everything's cool. The fight's going to go on as planned. Leave it alone. Then that following morning, that's when I got the bombshell that it was off. And I made the social media, you know, apologizing to the fans. And I did an interview with TMZ. So my new nickname is John Kardashian. And
was that your first TMZ interview or no?
Second, I believe.
Second?
My second TMZ interview. And, you know, and I still had to show up to the fight. You know, everything happens for a reason. It is what it is. And, you know, if for some reason that night we weren't supposed to fight, you know, I don't know what you guys believe in, but everything happens for a reason. So on to bigger and better, I guess.
And you said, I think you had told us beforehand that 80% of the tickets were actually refunded.
Yeah. So I was talking to the promotion, which TGB and Ringstar were heading that. And they said, man, we lost our butt on this.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, fights went on. Some of the rookies got to come in. Brandon Figueroa got to step up and fill the main attraction, which was good for him in his young career. And Joe Joyce. It was on the card.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah. And he was on the card. And you know, so it was definitely it was good for the fans. I made an appearance, but they literally, you walk in there and they put a curtain over half the arena.
Oh, yeah. To mask the seats.
The ghost town.
Yeah.
And then the seats, it was like, it was an embarrassment of a show because of that.
When you heard the news, obviously, you know, coming out of the steam and everything, and was it your team that said, "Oh no, don't worry, you're still gonna fight"? You know, there was obviously a little bit of a hope, but did you know maybe in your mind, like, this isn't gonna happen?
It hit me like, really? Like, is this gonna happen? I just spent $12,000 to get ready for this fight. Did this just happen? And I remember my wife very specifically because what the world knows when we go to camp. Now, again, camp is just a terminology that we use for preparation of the fight. Some guys actually go away to camp. My camp is when I tell my wife I'm physically going to be here, but mentally I may not be here because I'm focused on one thing, very specific. And we have 2 young daughters, and I see the challenge it is for her when she's on top of it, school, gymnastics, dinner, this, homework. I can see it. So my heart goes out to my wife, not to get father or husband of the year award, but and it sucks because she kind of goes to camp too because she's kind of a single mom, so to speak, during that period.
Right.
So she was, and my wife told me, she's like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, I know. And I mean, because we did the whole camp. It wasn't like it was camp just started and then boom, the fight got announced or got canceled. This was like 4 days before like we got down. This was like a whole, like my body went through, I was ready to fight. I was wound so tight. It was nuts, but everything happens for a reason. So
was there any other venues in contention for this fight? Because obviously you guys landed at Citizens Bank Arena in Ontario.
No, I think that was strategic to have it at Citizens. That was kind of my backyard, and the ticket sales were going great. They were going great. It was kind of cool for me because I was going to have my people that I grew up with, my friends, my family, of course my fans who are just as important, but it was going to be a sort of a homecoming for myself. I was even going to have a homecoming court and everything, for maybe announce a king and a queen. I don't know.
Right. But, right. And when's the last time you felt, well, obviously you didn't feel that feeling because the fight got canceled, but when's the last time you felt some type of a homecoming when you fought out here in Southern California?
Wow. StubHub, maybe. Staples.
Provodnikov? The Provodnikov?
Provodnikov was New York.
That was New York.
That was New York, but and whatever. My family went. My daughters were there, and it's always good. They always get to the night before the fight, which because obviously I get there about 2 weeks before to get acclimated to the time change and whatnot. But it feels good to fight at home. It really does because I liked having the people that I grew up with watch me perform. I guess if that's what you want to call it. I enjoy it.
Will the next fight hopefully be Southern California?
I'm really not at liberty to say because I might blow the whistle.
Right. No, we get you.
But announcement coming shortly. Coming soon.
Coming soon. It's coming.
To a theater near you.
Is there somewhere that you haven't fought that you've always wanted to fight?
That's a good question.
Let's see. I fought in Vegas. I fought in my bedroom with my wife. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. No. I haven't fought out of the country, so that would be
England.
Haven't fought across the pond, if you will.
80,000 fans at Wembley.
I haven't fought over there with Peppa Pig. So no, and the only reason why I know about Peppa Pig is because I have 2 daughters. But that's I'm not making fun. I'm just making.
I'm used to it.
He gets it. Yeah, he gets it.
Hey, I'm a big Beatles fan. Okay, so
there you go. Fight in Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm a big, and I hear from what I hear. I don't know the demographics out there, but I hear Liverpool is kind of a hard nosed place to live.
It's like a fight city.
Yeah, it's from what I hear. I guess from what according to Google, So,
Google's always right.
Yeah,
that's pretty accurate. For obviously 4 days before the fight, it's essentially right there. Yes. It wasn't like this happened like a month, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Did you guys have testing in the contract for this fight?
I'm at the stage in my career where there's testing in every fight. So it's definitely, again, there's contracts. Like for Provodnikov, there's a VADA contract where they get assigned specifically to you, which both fighters throughout camp are designated to 2 different guys, and they follow you around, and they literally have to have a 24-hour. There's a sheet that you fill out of 24 hours what you're doing during the day, and they get a copy of that, and they get a copy of numbers to reach you, and they got to show up to your house. They can show up to your house at 3 a.m, and you can make them sit there till 7 a.m. until you got to take a piss and do blood and piss, and they're always there with you.
Then I think you mentioned before a little bit off air that you were at the gym or something, and people were blowing up your phone. And
well, no, what happened was in my community, which is kind of cool. I get to buzz you in.
Yeah,
we call it the house that Al Heyman bought you. Okay.
Shout out to Al Heyman.
Yeah. It's literally, so I'm at the gym doing my performance training, and my wife calls me and says, babe, and yeah, she called me babe.
It's pretty normal.
It's a pretty universal term, I guess.
You shouldn't be ashamed. Yeah, it's universal.
It has to be, because I go to a bar, babe.
Everybody turns around. He's talking to me.
It's like because I have a 5-year-old. I hear daddy.
It's universal. We get it.
But she called me and said, hey, you expecting someone? I said, no. Why? She's like, someone keeps calling and calling and calling. I'm like, what the heck? And we have 2 numbers to call, either my wife or myself. And so I was like, all right, I'll be home. I was finishing up anyway. So I get home and I'm driving. I said, all right, I'm gonna beat someone down right now. I'm gonna get down. I live in the mean streets of Laverne. Got some real gangsters out there. And I'm like, all right, I need a little sparring session. So I pull up to the car. Hey, excuse me, sir, Mr. Molina. We're here to test you. And I'm like, and that's how they sounded. And we're here to test. Oh my God, I apologize. Da, 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 da. Okay, I'll let you in. So I let him in. I said, all right, well, you guys are going to have to sit for a while. No problem. So they sat in the living room. They waited. I said, okay, I think I got a piss. They took the piss, took my blood. And
how many of them is it? Is it like a
2.
team, or it's only 2 of them?
Yeah, it's 2 of them. Typically a guy and a girl.
Okay.
That's, obviously the guy handles the urinal sample, whatever you want to call it, with gloves.
With gloves.
Which is very important.
With gloves.
They do the thing, and I mean, they're pretty strict. They're cool people, but they're doing their job. They like to make money, because I think it's not cheap in the contract. No, whoever has to pay for it, or management, the promotion, I don't know, but it's not cheap. Mm-hmm. I hear it runs like $15,000 just for the test.
And you've been tested for how many years now? I
would say about 6-7 years of my career, for my 11-year career that I've had so far.
And then, at first when you first get tested, you're kind of like, oh, what the hell's, but like, how long after did you start getting used to it? Like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, well, like I said, when I first started getting tested, I was a little gun shy, because I touched on it before, but they got to physically see you, the urine come out of your
package.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to call it, in case my daughter is listening. But they got to physically see it come out. So when they first
stage fright,
a little bit, I was like, can my wife at least come in here?
At least.
But they gave me this. I said, okay, I'll be right here. No, Mr. Molina, you cannot walk over there. We got to go with you. I was like, what do you mean? We got to see it come out. I was like, well, what if I had the Wizinator? The Wizinator?
Yeah.
Which I think you can only buy them on Craigslist now. But
everybody's going to Google that now.
According to Google. But they got to see you. So I said one time, this guy was really getting up on me. I'm getting ready to fight, so I'm kind of, I was like, don't judge me. A little cold in here. And so I shot out a little stream and just got him. I was like, oh, and I did it on purpose. And I was like, back off.
Take that.
Yeah, warning shot.
A little super soaker.
Little warning shot. Yeah.
Next one's gonna come hard. And it's like, oh, don't worry about it. I'm used to it. And I'm like, you're used to it? That's kind of gross.
Yeah. Comes with the job.
What's your boyfriend's name? But or girlfriend, because girls don't pee. But,
that's true.
Or fart.
They don't.
But, yeah, definitely. It's a bit of getting you. Now I'm used to it. It's like, all right, you ready to take the test? Let's go. I'm ready if you're ready. Let me get fluffed real quick. And then, no, it's just and I enjoy it. I enjoy the test, or them watching me, but I enjoy the fact that we're kind of all on an even playing field now.
Yeah.
Because we're not in there playing catch. We're not in there throwing a football. We're not in there shooting a basketball. That's no disrespect to all their athletes, but we're in there fighting. I'm physically trying to take you out against your will. That's pretty tough task to do, and it's pretty dangerous.
You stay away from the street tacos then, John?
Yeah, definitely. I'd stay away from the street tacos. I can't. I'm guilty as charged for the bacon wrapped hot dogs after the fights and the events. I'm guilty as charged.
The LA bacon wrap.
LA bacon, where it's like half cat, half dog, hot dog.
And then the nasal spray.
Oh, definitely the nasal spray. We're looking to get a sponsor by Adrien, and
Adrien, if you're listening.
Yeah, Adrien, if you're listening, I'm here. I got a pretty big nose. It was funny. I was asking my father, I said, what was your experience when I was born? He says, you look like a damn sinus commercial. You came out with a nose. I was like, oh, geez. All right, thanks, Pops. But
So in terms of trainers, because you've been through a couple different trainers throughout your career. Goosen, you're with Alcazar now. You were with Lira before, right?
Yeah, Ben Lira was actually one of my first trainers. Ben Lira, great trainer, man. Great, very well-respected trainer. Very, the guy knows boxing like, wow, he taught me so much, and don't hold it against him if you see my style sometimes. but he definitely taught me a lot, and he's a great trainer, and we still have a great relationship to this day. I think he's second in command in Gennady Golovkin's corner, and he has a Jojo Diaz he helps out with, or he actually was his trainer since day one, behind his father, who's another great trainer, Joe Sr. But Ben there is a great guy, great man, wears many hats, that of a father figure, that of a trainer, that of I guess you got to be a kind of a psychologist, when you're in there with these crazy ass fighters, use the language. But he's a great guy. Ben Lear's a great guy.
When you switched to, because you went to Joe Goosen after him, right?
Yes.
And wasn't he still kind of in your corner?
He was, and we tried to make it work, but it's kind of hard when you have two men, especially for a fighter. I have Ben, because you got to remember, when you get into a fight, you got to trust the individual that's in charge. So, and I always use this analogy. If they tell you in the fight that the grass outside is blue, and then the ref asks you what color is the grass outside, you got to say blue. That's how much trust you got to have in this individual. So when you have two chiefs, so to speak, calling shots, your head's spinning in the fight. And then if it's a big fight, you need to listen to one guy, and you got to put your trust in them. So it was kind of like two guys butting heads, and I had to separate and go the direction I was going to go. And we went with Joe Goosen. At that point, it wasn't a matter of who was better or who was this or who was that. It was a matter of, at that time, Joe Goosen was related to my promoter, which was the late Dan Goosen.
Right.
And it just made more sense for me in a career choice to go that route.
Trajectory. Career.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
When you're picking a trainer, John, you're kind of blessed, really. In Southern California, you've got so many to pick from. Joe Diaz, Freddie Roach, the people you've just said, Robert Garcia. How did you decide who to go with all the way down the line, like choosing Lira, then Goosen, and then now choosing Alcazar? Is there
See, where the stage I'm at in my career now, I can pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I'm interested in working with you." They're going to say yes, or they can say no. I'm not trying to toot my own name. I don't want to do it.
Has anybody ever told you no?
No one's ever told me no.
Damn, I was kind of hoping he would say yes. Like, who was it?
And no means no. No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Too soon. Anyways,
not yet.
Definitely. No one's ever said no. I think, especially at this stage, if I pick up the phone and call somebody, we can definitely get someone there. But we're with Robert Alcazar right now. He's a great trainer. He has I have my own private gym. The only ones that train out of that gym right now is Jaime Mungia, who's definitely splashed onto the scene and made a great name for himself. He's doing well. Very young kid. I remember when he first came in, I'm like, yeah, you can train here, bro. It's my own personal
Have you sparred him?
I haven't sparred yet, but matter of fact, me and Robert Alcazar had that conversation today. I said, you know what?
Yeah.
I want to get in there with Jaime. Let's see what this kid's all about. But
I'll get tickets for that.
What's funny is Robert will never let us spar. Not that he's afraid of what I'll do to him or vice versa. He's afraid. It's a pride thing. He's gonna hit me. I'm gonna hit him. He's a big man. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
And when I saw him, I was like, how the hell are you making 54? Because he's a big guy. When I first met him, and I gave him a hug, I was like, geez, because I'm a big guy, even for 40 or 47, I'm a big guy. And I'm like looking up to him, I'm like, geez, but he's 21 years old, so he'll stay there for a few more years, and I think he's got to go up because
he'll have to go up.
He's just a big guy, a big, strong kid. A very high ceiling for himself. When I was talking with him, he listens well. With Robert, kind of giving him more of an American style, utilizing his feet a little bit more and giving him some more movement. I think like I said, the ceilings are high for him. And he's in town now. He's training. We have Panchito de Vaca, who's another good kid. He splashed onto the scene. Top Rank recently signed with Top Rank. He fought a hell of a fight on his kind of Top Rank debut. It was it was a fan friendly fight.
Good fight.
We have Rene Moreno, who's a young kid, just made his pro debut last week, fighting in 2 weeks in Texas under another top ranked card. I don't believe he signed a top rank, but kind of freelancing, so to speak. And there's a couple other guys in our gym right now that are training that are good fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an airplane coming? Or?
It sounds like, huh? No, it's just the audio. It's just the audio.
But we have there's about 5 guys, Nathan, Ricky, Panchinto, Jaime, myself, Renee, all these guys that train in my gym, and want to give them all a shout out because they keep me working hard. They really do.
That's a hard-hitting gym.
I know.
Yeah. When me and Jaime are in there, I said, hey, we're going to spar, but 30-second round, 3-minute rest.
Well, if you're going to spar a big kid like him,
No, but look at here it is at the bottom. The end of the day, which I hate using that term because every fight. At the end of the day, bottom line, end of the day.
Adrien Broner.
Yeah, end of the day. You know what I mean?
Adrien Broner.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Manny Garcia.
Yeah, Danny Garcia.
Yeah, you feel me? You feel me?
He's doing an impersonation show.
Yeah, exactly. So when it comes down to it, if me and Jaime were to spar, I think fans would want to come watch that because we're going to just beat the hell out of each other.
I first dibs. I've already called it, John.
But
would you ever move up to 54?
Nah,
you think 47 is the ceiling?
47 will be the ceiling for me. I'm big at 47 even.
Well, that's why. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't see 54. I don't see them because you got to remember these guys are coming down from like 190, 180 to make 54. These are the punch tastes different at this weight. Even from 40 to 47, the punch is completely different. It's not. People think, 7 pounds is nothing. Not in boxing. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for sure.
And then in terms of the big news today, obviously you're signed with Al Haymon,
Yes.
PBC. You guys struck a partnership with Manny Pacquiao.
Yes.
One of the most legendary, biggest fighters of the last, era.
Yes, for sure.
And he fights in the same weight class as you. You guys are in the same weight class.
Yes.
So obviously, there's always a potential now that you guys are under the same umbrella because he was always with Top Rank and there was promotional issues. What's your reaction on Pacquiao signing with Al Haymon?
I think it's good. I think that Broner fight's going to be entertaining. I think I don't know if they announced it yet, or I know there's rumors of it.
There's rumors, yeah.
January 19th, they're saying.
There's rumors.
Yeah, no official statement yet. But
I guess if Dan Rafael says it, then it's true. But no, it's that would be intriguing. Pacquiao is still Pacquiao. He may be an older, long in the tooth type of Pacquiao, but I think he's not bad given the way he looked against Matthysse, which I don't know if that was so much Matthysse being done or Pacquiao just looking amazing. I don't know yet. I've been in the ring with Matthysse, and that definitely wasn't the guy I fought.
2014, right?
Yes, but with that being said, I've had people close to his camp say that after the fight with me, he went into a fight directly with Provodnikov. After those 2 fights,
right,
we took it out of him.
Yeah.
To go to 2 back-to-back wars like that, it's kind of hard. Those are the fights that take a piece of your youth out of you. Takes a little bit of your prime away.
Fighting Provodnikov by itself takes your youth out of you.
And then the fight that we've had was just an all-out, drag-out war, and we remained friends. We talk and via social media and the occasional email here and there, and I'm happy for him. He came out on the other side with all his scruples.
Right.
He doesn't sound like he has a mouthful of marbles. I've seen your guys' post. John Molina's getting punchy. He talks like he has a mouthful of cotton. Or is he cottonmouth? What are we talking about? Exactly. So, in my defense, I was actually born with the speech impediment. And for the first 2 years of my life, I was in speech classes. So, for all you punchy guys.
Are you listen to that? I'm
not punchy. I got a fat tongue. Don't hold it against me.
But, because Pacquiao signing with Haymon, especially after being with Bob Arum for so long, it's a big deal.
It's huge.
It's a huge deal because now it opens the door to fight because you, along with your stablemates,
Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman. Come on.
Al Haymon, your guys' manager, has all the prominent welterweights.
Yes.
Now it opens the door.
I mean, from one side of the spectrum to the end, to the bottom, we have and all the in between. We're doing it right, I guess. I don't want to say that we're doing it right because it's not my company. I'm sitting at waste with, but
you guys are all under the same umbrella.
We're all under the same umbrella. I'm happy where we're at. I don't hear any complaints from anybody other than the haters that are not with El Heyman. And and there are some brutal haters out there, man. I don't even want to mention names, but on social media platforms, there's guys, El Heyman is this and that. It's like, it's because you guys are not with them while you're talking that crap. I get it. Alliances need to be made. It's kind of like, are you Republican or Democrat? It's the same concept, but where are you going?
The politics of the sport.
Exactly. The politics of the sport.
And another Al Heyman fighter, I mean, even though he says he's technically a free agent fight by fight, but, we kind of read between the lines.
Yeah.
Mikey Garcia has obviously been, he says he's serious about wanting to fight Errol Spence. If he's willing to move up to 147, would you take that fight?
Of course. Me and Mike have known each other a long time. There's actually a leaked footage of, because you're not allowed to bring phones into their gym.
Right, you're not. Yeah.
And somebody snuck a phone in there, and there's 30 seconds of me and Mikey sparring on YouTube. I was so pissed when I saw it. It was maybe 4 years ago. Sorry, just scratched my balls. It was maybe 4 years ago. It was only 30 seconds, and it was towards the end of a round, so you didn't see much. But Mikey's timing, I sparred with him a lot. Mikey's timing is the best I've ever seen. As far as if you make a mistake, he's going to capitalize right away. 47 is kind of a tough nut to crack, so to speak, especially for him because he's not a very big guy. I think he possesses power, and I think his boxing IQ and his intellect is definitely one of the top three in the game right now. So, by him calling out Errol Spence, I don't look at it like, you're just calling him out for a payday. You don't need the payday. He's making a ton of money. Mm-hmm. One, and I think it would be a very competitive fight. But if I was betting my hard-earned dollar, Errol Spence is a big guy at 47. He's very big. I'm amazed that the guy's still making 147, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. He's going to be going to 54 real soon, I think. Right.
No, because, we were talking about it before the show. Mikey Garcia and Richard Comey went to purse bid.
Yeah, originally they told the IBF, or was it for the IBF, I believe, that they'd made an agreement, and then when it came down to it, I think on Friday they were supposed to submit the contracts. Comey signed his and sent his in, and Mikey didn't send his in. So I think they have until the end of next week, I think October 30th, to do the purse bids. So it looks like Mikey may be looking somewhere else for a fight.
He could go up to 147.
Yeah, because, Comey's probably not going to be the biggest fights in terms of purse, and it's not really going to be much for Mikey.
You got to remember, it's still a business.
Right.
It's still a business, and at this stage in the game, Mikey's looking
big fights
at the business aspect, as he should. He deserved it. He deserves it. He's been fighting whoever he needs to fight, and he kind of could jump around from 35 to 47. Why not? Those are very lucrative fights for him in the future. So I would do it for sure.
So a thing that you, of course, in terms of opponents, both of you fought Broner.
Yes.
Well,
actually, he fought Broner. I wouldn't call my fight much of a fight.
Well, you were still in the ring.
I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. That's the only fight that I don't like. I didn't do what I was supposed to do in that fight. That's the only fight, and I hate reading the fact that people think I laid down for him to get a payday. That wasn't it. It was just the fact that night he was an enigma to me, and I couldn't figure out the puzzle.
Right.
I don't know why. It just, I'm not. I don't want to. I just hate the fact that fans think, "Oh, John just got paid to lay down, so I didn't do anything." No, the guy he wasn't bad. He wasn't bad.
Does he have heavy hands like everyone says?
He's got a decent punch. He hit me with the pop, the shot that he dropped Sean Porter with, and it got my attention. And I cracked him. I actually have the clip on my phone. I cracked him and it froze him. I took my hat off to him because that punch that I hit him with usually really derails people, and he was able to take it. So he's a real fighter. He's not bad, but you're right. Mikey fought him as well, and Mikey's boxing IQ is, his rhythm, his timing, his distance. You can't hold a candle between Broner and Mikey, and it obviously showed in that fight.
Right. Can you still make 140?
Yes, definitely.
So if they said, "Oh, we want to offer you Mikey, but at 140," would you do it?
Where do I sign? I think this is what I think. Mikey Garcia and I we're friends. We're not hanging out every day, but when we see each other, we're friends. And if I'm Mikey Garcia, I don't want anything to do with John Molina. Not because of what I am and what I do, and no, don't worry, he'll do this. No, but to me, it's not worth the risk because I'm so heavy-handed and I'm a big guy at that weight. Why would Mikey ever want to fight me from a business aspect?
Risk and reward.
Yeah, and to him, okay, if he beats me, it's great, but because I'm a big guy. But if they definitely wanted to go down that route, let's go. I mean, I'm game because we're gonna fight. And you're gonna land. I'm gonna land one of my shots. So, and that's again I don't see them ever wanting to go there. I really don't. Not in a disrespectful way. It just doesn't make sense to them. I don't think at this point in his career.
Right. Do you think Mikey will realistically go to 147?
I don't know. To fight Errol Spence, that's a huge payday. It's a huge payday, and I see why the intrigue is there for him. And from a fan standpoint, it's a good fight, but like I said, I think I side with Errol Spence because it's kind of like the analogy of a football player. When you have these guys that are ultra athletic they're 5'7", and they're just uber athletic, and they kill it in high school, and they kill it in college, and they get to the big leagues, and then you go against a guy who's just as athletic, but you're 6'7".
Yeah. There's
a difference. While right now you have Errol Spence, who I think is a very high IQ, very talented fighter, and I think Mikey Garcia is very similar, but the stature difference is going to be too big of a difference. It's just not going to. I don't see Mikey winning that fight.
And then, segueing from and talking about size, Mikey to Errol Spence in terms of comparison, Canelo's moving up to 168 to fight for a secondary world title, is what we like to call it.
WBA regular.
Yeah. Against I don't know if you saw the face off between Canelo and Rocky Fielding, but it's he's obviously towering.
He's a big guy. He's a big guy.
I mean, what do you think about Canelo going up to 168, or you think it's just more of a business move, or
it's a business move and it's a strategic. He's the cash cow of boxing right now, so it's a very strategic fight. There's some risk. The guy is not bad. What's his name? Fielding.
Yeah.
No disrespect, I just don't really know the guy that well. And to my understanding, he's a title holder.
WBA regular.
Okay, so I mean,
secondary world title.
Yeah. Well, it took something to gain that. You can't knock the guy. No one just gave it to him. And he's a big guy in stature, and he's fighting Canelo, who I think is arguably one of the best in the game right now. And so, anything can happen, but I think it's a very strategic move for Canelo because he just signed that very lucrative contract. They're not going to put him in harm's way. Well, they're going to put him in a fight where they feel like they have the upper hand. Let's put it that way.
Right.
But again, it's fighting and anything can happen. So, let's see what happens.
And then, Demetrius Andrade just won that world title this past Saturday. IBF world title, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he won that.
The WBO.
WBO.
Billy Joe Saunders.
Oh, it was Billy Joe Saunders.
54 or 60?
160. 160. So, obviously he was supposed to fight Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah.
And Billy Joe got...
Afrin.
Okay. Yeah, he got popped.
Billy Joe Afrin.
And unless
it was CBS Brown, then it'd be
it was CBS Brown.
Billy Joe CBS.
But touching on that really quick, because obviously you've been in the testing pool for multiple years now. You're supposed to disclose what you take to the officials, aren't you? Like beforehand?
You are. I mean, they give you a sheet to write all the supplements you're taking, whether it be B12, CoQ10, Super K. I mean, these are a lot of things that people don't know that are supplements that we take.
Right.
Super vitamin or certain things. You're supposed to disclose these. Half these things fighters can't spell. I can't. So even though it's B12, that's not too hard.
It's still difficult.
It's still a little difficult. But I have a performance guy who that's his hat that he wears, and he fills it all out. So there's no surprise, no secret. But if you have any guy that's worth his salt, he's got to know that list that changes annually, mind you, that USADA list changes annually.
Mm-hmm.
Every year there's something new that may not have been banned last year. It is now this year. So for them to educate these fighters, there's kind of like there's a missing link, because a lot of these fighters, they don't know, they don't care. And a lot of these fighters that are first coming into the game, they can't afford to pay a performance guy or a nutritionist or a cook. They can't afford. I mean, that gets expensive, man. It really does. I mean, I spent some ducats on that kind of stuff, and to gain the intelligence to be able to say, okay, this is what I do, this is what I can do. And half these guys in the beginning, they don't have the purse money to say, okay, let me go get a guy. They're just going to GNC and talking to this guy that, I lift weights, bro. So this is what you take. But they don't know that it's not on the list.
Right.
So it's kind of a tough deal. But really, the fighters that get tested are usually your main event fighters or co-main event fighters.
Is it easy to find, John? Can you go onto the website and Google?
It's very easy. But again, a lot of these guys are not very tech savvy. Half these guys can barely run their Instagram, let alone go on Google and type in a name, and even with spell check, they'll still spell it wrong. I mean, I'm just being honest. I mean, luckily, I like to think I'm a little more articulate and a little more intelligent than the next guy, and I'm luckily I can do that. So shame on me if anything ever comes out the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of these guys, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt, because they don't know, especially if they come from a developing country, because we can't say third world country anymore.
Right.
But they don't know. I mean, they have no idea. Look at Ponce de Leon. I mean, the guy, from my understanding, he didn't watch TV till he was 14 years old.
I heard that.
And these are, how the hell is he going to know what 7 keto or whatever the hell that's something, and how are you going to know what that is? He's going to think you get it and grind it up on a stone and take it. You know what I mean? So
it's all gibberish to him.
Literally. Yeah. And so some guys you can say, okay, we're going to give you a pass. But other guys that are very, I don't want to say tech savvy, but are a little more intelligent.
Alert?
I can't say that either, because that's kind of knocking people. Guys that are in the game, veterans. They should know better.
Right.
They should know better. They shouldn't be taking Afrin.
Shouldn't be taking Afrin. I wanted to ask you, I had somebody ask me this afternoon to ask you this.
It wasn't me.
Yeah. Do you still touch every corner of the ring before a fight?
Someone that's old school.
Do you still do it? Because you don't do it like on TV. You do it before the fight when nobody's in the arena.
I always get there when no one's in the arena. For a big part of my career, now we're going to go to a whole different podcast. For a big part of my career, I believed in, I guess it was superstition.
Right.
Well, I don't know what you believe in. I believe in God.
Right.
And I think that's when all superstition goes out the window. I mean, it was to the point where I wouldn't lay my robe on the bed. It would always be hanging, because you can never lay your robe on the bed. It was just your robe or your trunks, because there was a superstition behind that. And then it got to a point where you touch every corner of the ring. And I would always make it a point to go like 2-3 hours before the show, before anyone's in there. I would touch the ring, I'd feel the ring, and I would touch each corner of the ring. I haven't done that for about 2 years, because again, I don't want to get all like, I don't want people to look at me like, okay, well, he considers himself a Christian, but sometimes he says cuss words, and then I'm going to be looked at as a hypocrite, and I don't like that.
Right.
But I'm a believer in God, and I believe if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Just like for whatever reason, I wasn't supposed to fight Victor Ortiz. Why? Because of the announcement that will be happening soon.
Soon.
No, again, and that's a whole nother topic, Especially in the day and age that we live in, when you talk about God and all the division in our world between Trump fan, if you're Dr. Ford or you're,
the political climate.
It's especially the day and age we live in right now. It's the world or United States is so divided. But
was that handed down to you, John? The touching the corners?
No, it wasn't. It was just something that I've always done, or that I always did since the amateurs.
Okay, and
then it kind of carried on with me. And I didn't want, I would literally make my father, okay, we got to go touch the ring. It's now like, and as the fights gotten bigger and bigger, and I was getting to Showtime and HBO and bigger fights, I would go in there before the arena's there. And then sometimes it's hard, because there would be someone in there, hey, John, can we take a picture? We're kind of focusing on the fight. You don't want to be a dick, because these are the fans.
Right.
These are the reasons why you get paid what you get paid.
Right.
So you got to make time for those people. But at the same time, I'm about to go to war. I got to be focused, and people that are not fighters do not realize what it's like to be at the MGM Grand, 23,000 in attendance, 106 million people watching at home. And the movie crew comes up to you, Molina, we're walking in 5 minutes. And then,
Man.
boom. And then, okay, and then we're not going out there to play catch. We're going out there to fight one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world.
Right.
And we're not going to have a discussion. We're not going to have a debate. We're going to fight. I'm going to and these gloves that we wear, they physically feel like rocks bouncing off your head. And then you walk through the tunnel, and then you get to the arena at the MGM Grand, and you hear, crowd just goes crazy. And then there's that one drunk guy, you're about to get your ass kicked.
There's always that one guy. Yeah.
And then let's go, Molina, kick his ass. You're getting smoked.
There's always those people.
And then everyone's going crazy. And then meanwhile, we're walking all the way up to the ring. We get to the ring. And then either your opponent's in the ring already or he's about to walk. And then there's a line from Rocky that I freaking think is amazing. When Rocky's in the ring and he's looking, and I think it was Drago or even Apollo Creed. One of his opponents were walking in, and Mickey's like, what are you thinking? And he's looking at him, and Rocky's like, I was hoping he didn't show up.
He did. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And I was like, shit, sometimes that's like, I wonder if he didn't show up. Well, guess what? It happened to me. September 30th, he didn't show up. But
it finally happened.
It happened. It's a true story. But no, people don't realize what it takes, the kind of balls it takes to get in a ring.
Right.
If you've never been in a fight, do you remember when you were a kid and I'm going to fight you at 3:00 in the park, punk? And your heart's like, oh, shoot.
Yeah. As it gets closer.
As it gets closer. I mean, there's nights leading up to the fight that I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, I think the fight's the next day, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the adrenaline pumping through your blood. It's crazy. It's a crazy. That's why this fight game is not for everybody. It's a crazy feeling, man.
When, in terms of that, which opponent caused you that I guess that most anxious feeling?
Not an anxious feeling. Okay, so there was a fight that you guys may have watched back in 2014, John Molina versus Lucas Matthysse.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, Lucas Matthysse
he was a monster.
He was Lucas Matthysse.
Yeah.
And John Molina was making his debut at 140.
Right.
Coming up from 135.
Right.
And I remember I slept in my bed that night because they had us booked at the God, I forget what hotel. The hotel that was quote unquote haunted. I'm a big chicken when it comes to that. So it was haunted where the Black Dahlia did her murders, and they actually
what hotel is that?
Yeah, I don't want to say because I don't want them to get mad at me. But the hotel where they filmed Ghostbusters at.
Yeah, I know.
The Bonaventure, is it? No, that's Bonaventure.
No, that's not the Bonaventure.
Biltmore. Is it the Biltmore?
I think it is the Biltmore. Yeah.
And so they're like, you're staying, and if you go in the room, the ambiance of the room is literally like from a horror movie. And I'm like, hell no, I'm not staying. I walked in there.
Get the hell out of here.
I'm out. Hell no. I'll leave an hour early. So I went to my bed. And then out of the fight, they had us stay in there. So my Nino, my godfather, stood in my room. And he called me like, someone's pulling on my toes. I'm like, go to bed, please. And so like, I kid you not, this is a true story. I wake up at 7. I forgot I had the fight. That's the best. The night before a fight, you want to forget you have a fight. That's when you get the real sleep because all the adrenaline leaves your body and you go to sleep. And I woke up and I opened my eyes and the first words out of my mouth were, oh shit, it's going down.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, my wife's in the bed next to me and I wake up and literally time goes when you got to fight. When it's fight day, time just flies by. It's crazy. You wake up and before you know it, it's time to make the walk to the dressing room. And so I wake up and then time's flying by. I have my daughter, sitting on my lap and I'm watching TV with her. I'm eating breakfast. And then my godfather comes to pick me up and he's like, all right, it's time to go. So I give my wife a kiss, my kids a kiss. And all right, let's catch you guys on the other side. Let me go fight this guy they call the Machine and see what he's all about.
Máquina, yeah.
He had 34 fights with 30 knockouts at this time. And so we go, and I remember getting in the dressing room and getting ready, and then there goes that call again. We're walking in 5 minutes, and we're like, oh, shit, it's going down. And I'm a real guy, and every punch in that ring you feel. And we obviously know how. I remember going in there, and they announced, boom, we touched gloves, and we're getting ready to fight. And I remember, okay, I got to catch this guy, and he's moving. Wham! I hit him with the right hand, and he buckled. And I was like, oh, shit, I got him.
Yeah, I got him.
Boom, boom. I start jumping on him. And then, but I proceed with caution because he's a veteran.
Right.
And he's trying to lure me in to catch me. And then I caught him and I buckled him. I really hurt him after the first round. Second round, wow, that was the right hand I hit him with and just rung his bell. And then I hit him again, boom, and dropped him. I was like, all right, I got this guy. I said, I literally, like, if he had an armor on him, I was chinking that armor little by little.
Chopping him down.
Boom, boom, boom. And I'm hitting him. Every shot I'm hitting him with. And there was, in the fifth round when I dropped him, he hit me to the body. Wow. Small little body shot that the world doesn't see, but man, he tightened me up. Big time. He hit me right in the right
liver
spot. Good shot. Hit me to the body, so I cracked him right after. Boom, because I knew I was going to take a few seconds to step back. So I had to give him something to respect so he didn't come in, because he hurt me with that shot.
Right.
He's the only guy that ever really hurt me with a body shot.
Right.
And he hurt me with a shot, so right away I just fired off a right hand and I buckled him again, and he backed off a little bit. And from that shot, in my dressing room, I went to take a piss. When I took a piss, it was all pink. It was the only time I've ever pissed blood.
Damn.
And it was, I knew it was very specifically from that shot that he cracked me with, because it literally tightened up my whole side when he hit me with it. And I was like, damn it. That's piss blood. I remember I called my head. I was like, hey, babe, come look at this. You want some pink lemonade? Like making a joke, but
yeah,
it was, that was a war, man. We were just I remember getting in the trenches and thinking, all right, let's throw. And we were in there just, bah! And I feel the punches coming off my head, boom, when I'm throwing my boom. And it's like, okay, either I'm going to take you out or you're going to take me out. But it feels like you're walking into like a wave pool and you're just going to throw down and whatever happens, happens.
That's an unbelievable fight.
It was nuts, man. And every exchange was bam, bam. All right, I took yours. Can you take mine? It was just going back and forth.
You went down twice. You went down twice.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And I had
that was like StubHub, wasn't it?
The gash on my head was 17 staples.
Holy.
And I get into the dressing room. I've told the story before. I get into the dressing room, and everyone, I didn't realize what we did, because people were coming up to me and saying, oh my God, like, thank you. I can't believe what we just witnessed was something that was unbelievable. And I'm like, I told my dad, I was like, what happened? He's like, dude, that was a fucking war. Excuse my language.
Yeah, it's okay.
And I was like, all right, so we're in my dressing room. And I had news reporters that have been in the game for 30 years saying that the fight was so gruesome ringside that they had to turn away. They couldn't watch anymore.
Damn.
I said, well, what did it sound like? He said, if you were ringside, they've never heard the sound of punches the way we were landing on each other. He said it sounded like watermelons exploding, hitting the ground every time we hit each other.
Holy crap.
And he was like, it sounded more than what you hear at a heavyweight fight, two guys exchanging punches. We were cracking each other. And so I go into the dressing room, and the doctor comes in, and he says, all right, Mr. Molina, well, we got to give you some staples. I said, with all due respect, sir, I don't want you to staple my head, because I'm a good-looking guy, and I don't want you to leave any scars.
Don't ruin it.
This is my moneymaker. And, I'm looking to get into modeling after.
I need a career after boxing.
Exactly. I was going to do Hanes, the chicken leg.
Or Afrin.
The chicken, or Afrin. And so he's like, I'm sorry, I got to staple your head. I was like, okay, whatever. We got to get it done. Let's get it done. Well, at first I told him, let me go to my own plastic surgeon to do it, because I wanted him to tighten up that scar. I don't want it to be a big scar. Mm. And so he's like, no, I got to staple it now. I'm like, all right, whatever. He's like, but I got bad news. And I was like, what's that? He said, I forgot the numbing medicine.
Oh, no way.
You had one job.
And I looked at him. I'm like, you're a doctor at a prize fight where we're not talking. We're not debating. We're fighting. Mm-hmm. And you have a guy that can throw down, and then you have myself, who's known to go into wars, and you forget numbing medicine. So they roll up a towel. My dressing room is pretty big. My wife goes into the restroom in my dressing room. One of my buddies holds my hands, and they put a towel in my mouth, and each 17 staples, bah, 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 onto my head. And then the gross part is I'm not able to wash that part of my head for 2 weeks. So I have to put like a bag right here and wash around it. And then the way he stapled it, because he had to be quick because there was no numbing medicine, I had to go to the doctors to get it removed. And the skin grew over the staple. So I get to the doctors, and the doctor says, and this is, I thought they were joking with me. And this is the God honest truth. I get to the doctors, and they say, we ran out of the localized Novocaine.
Of course they did.
I said, you got to be like, I'd rather hit the lotto. You know what I mean? Speaking of Mega Millions tomorrow, 1.6 billion.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming, yeah. So I was like, whatever, dig it out because I wanted these out of my head. And so they start digging the staple out of my head, and a tear is rolling down my eye. It hurt, and I was like, and are you okay? I was like, well, you're digging the staple out of my head where the skin already grew over for 2 weeks. So it's like, come on. So that was actually the worst pain I've ever felt in my life.
Oh, get out of here. Worse than any punch you ever got.
Oh, but getting the staples in my head was worse than all 11 rounds with Matthysse.
Worse than that body shot?
It was worse than that body shot.
Oh.
The body shot like seized my body for like, I hit Provodnikov with the same body shot. I think at the end of round 2, if you watch, I hit him with a little shot just right here, and you see the whole side of his body on the side tighten up. And he didn't throw a punch for like 30 seconds. And I was like, I tightened him up. Something happens when you get hit to the body, your whole body just tightens up.
Mm-hmm.
It seizes up. It's like a cramp.
Right.
And I tightened him up right there and got his attention. And Matthysse did that to me, but I had the wherewithal to crack him. And when I cracked him, he didn't come in. I was like, oh, cool. It gave me 30 seconds to regroup.
Was there ever talks of you and Matthysse doing it again since the fight was so big?
I can't believe you guys never did it again.
There was talks, but they wanted no part of it.
I'm not surprised.
And I can't say that because I don't want to discredit Matthysse because he was a great fighter. But it's a fight that should have happened again. I mean, you had Brandon Rios Alvarado 3 times, but you couldn't have Matthysse Molina twice.
Would you do it if they offered it now and at Heyman and would you do it?
It was a fight that I was talking about a couple of years back, but now that he's retired, it makes no sense. But again, it's a fight that I feel if I would have had, again, it would be another barn burner, and I think we would have came out with the victory. And I think because of what I've learned in that fight, I was able to smoke Provodnikov because of that.
Damn. Well, wrapping it up here, John, we appreciate you coming on. I know we had some technical difficulties around here, but we got over the hump. We talked about, your testing procedures and showing up and scaring your wife at the gate.
Afrin.
If you're listening out there.
Street tacos.
Afrin, if, he...
$5
John
bacon
will
wrap
take that
hot
sponsorship.
dogs.
He'll take that sponsorship.
$5 bacon wrap hot dogs.
We touched on everything. And you said, there should be an announcement soon.
Yes,
of your fight.
There should be an announcement soon. I think the world's going to be excited. And thank you guys for having me, man. I hope I didn't chop it up or take up too much of your guys' time. And
not at all.
I hope you guys don't say I'm punchy.
We're not going to say you're punchy, but we can't stop other people from.
You can't.
There's always going to be people
they
online.
Make fun of my glasses, my sideburns.
But you got to look. It's marketing, man.
You know what?
You got to look.
It just really breaks my heart. Breaks my heart.
Hopefully, we can get you back on, John, after your victory in the next fight.
How about this? I'll tell you this. When the fight gets announced shortly, let's do another one. And we could go into depth conversation about that fight because you guys are going to be greatly intrigued of that fight.
You got it. You got it.
I'm hoping
now you're setting my expectations really high.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to break it right here. I'm fighting King Kong.
Oh, damn. King Kong Bundy?
You're fighting Luis Ortiz?
Right? Yeah.
Heavyweight?
The heavyweight. I'm going up to heavyweight.
Oh, man.
Make sure he's got his blood medication.
Yeah, no, I was going to fight Butterbean. Except
Butterbean's coming back.
It's his Mexican brother, and they call him refried.
Oh, man.
The refried.
The refried bean versus the butter bean.
Ooh,
what is this, the 90s?
Well, hey, that's my era.
It is, yeah.
That's my era. I watched 90210.
Oh, man.
Full House.
Friends.
Well, my wife loves
Family
Friends.
Matters. All that stuff. Yeah.
I'll sing the song right now. It's a rare condition.
What was on Thursdays? Friday night lineup or something?
No, it was Friday night. TGI Friday.
TGI Friday, yeah. That was
step
big.
by step.
That was big, man. That was. I remember that.
I might go on YouTube tonight. I might watch it.
Yeah, reminisce, nostalgia.
I get really nostalgic before every fight for whatever reason. Sometimes you'll find me at my old like elementary school sitting in the lot just kind of looking. I don't know, when I get really nostalgic.
Yeah.
Whenever I get an announcement of a fight, I get really like, I don't know.
It just happens.
It does.
Yeah. It's like you touching the four corners of the ring.
It's like Rocky driving before the fight, you know, throws his helmet at the statue.
He does.
I was hoping you didn't show up.
But like I said, John, you know, we appreciate you coming into the studio. You know, from myself and Mike, you know, like you said, hopefully we get you on after your fight announcement.
Yes, definitely.
And you know, I'm expecting, if it's not Floyd Mayweather, I'm going to be disappointed.
Put it this way. I feel you guys will be very excited.
That's awesome.
I'm just hoping it's in Southern California, John.
So
we can come, we can cheer you on.
My guess is yes, but I don't know. I'm not in charge of that.
Right.
You think I'm Floyd Mayweather?
Your job is just to go in there and
my job is to go in there and beat the hell out of somebody.
You know, but you know, just wrapping it up here. If you want to just plug social media, anything you got coming up, any businesses you got, go for it.
John Molina Jr. 135, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I believe it's. And I haven't got it authenticated yet. As I should be, but there's a lot.
I know. Get that check mark, man.
I want the check. I'm just gonna make my own and just take a picture and post it.
Get that check mark, man.
Get that check.
Tell Al to help you out with that.
I literally, it's probably a phone call, and I say literally as much as everyone would say at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, Broner.
At the end of the day, it's just a phone call to our PR. At the end of the day,
right?
You know what I mean?
Swanson.
Oh no, yeah. This is what does it say? What does Danny Garcia say?
Oh,
you feel me?
You feel me?
You feel me?
You feel me?
Yeah, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? I should have won that fight. You feel me?
Man, we can do a whole show just on the mannerisms of fighters.
Our bomb squad.
Hey man, you're gonna need something like that. Man. They're all known for something.
And I'm gonna do like a Tyson Fury with "There's only one." It's pretty cool to watch.
He's out here in Big Bear too.
Thursday,
hey, you know what? I'm very intrigued for that fight.
That's gonna be great.
I think right now, mentally, I think Tyson Fury has one up. I
agree with that.
I think he's in his head. Just from judging off of all the press conferences and the interviews, I see Tyson Fury's just more savvy when it comes to the debate,
the head games.
But again, we're not having a debate; we're fighting. So that's the difference.
And Wilder can crack.
He can definitely crack me, and he doesn't move like a heavyweight. He moves like a middleweight. So that's the intrigue. But then when Tyson Fury says, "Well, look at you," I don't know how to do that accent. I don't want to attempt because I'm gonna sound horrible.
Let Mike do it.
He's got your bony legs. One of those.
Look at you, got bony legs.
Yeah, bony legs. You're a basketball player. You're not a boxer. I sound like
that's the thing, because like you say, Wilder's got that one punch. He's got that money maker. Where
right.
Tyson, he's so used to just being slick.
But he's a big guy.
Yeah,
he's a big, and look at when he mentions that, he believes it. When he says, "Dude, look at you, your legs." I think I have the same size legs as Deontay Wilder, except for he's on a 6'7" frame.
Damn.
But the guy can crack.
Yeah.
Power in boxing, the best fighters have chicken legs. I know, I have them. But the best fighters have chicken legs. Literally, and it's gonna be. I can't really put a finger on who's gonna win right now. I want Deontay, American, and he's under our banner. But Tyson Fury is no slouch. He's a big guy. Mm-hmm. If you look at the difference in their forearms and their hands, he's just a massive dude.
Huge, 6'9", man.
And he's not, but again, what I like to tell these big guys is there's no muscles from here to here.
Nope.
You gotta hit that
the chin to the cheek, right?
He got put down by a cruiserweight.
But again, I hate. Okay, one of the first guy to ever light my bell or rock my world in boxing. He had 5 knockouts to his 30-some fights, and he caught me with an uppercut, and he doesn't know it, but my head said boom. And I was like, holy crap!
The equilibrium
and he hit me with the uppercut that I didn't see, and also my daughter, I was holding her when she was a baby, and she hit me, and I started bleeding.
Oh wow!
So a little baby made me bleed. Imagine a grown man.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Like, Tyson Fury is no lightweight. It's a big man hitting you. Can he hit Deontay the way he moves and the way he gets out of the way? I don't know. But it's going to be interesting, for sure.
We're going to find out December 1st, right?
Yeah, looking forward to it. I'm going to try and go, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, the nosebleeds
we'll be there.
The nosebleeds are what, 300?
Yeah. I don't know. We're not going to be up there. So
we'll try and go media pass. And
we'll do our thing. We'll do our thing as a press. So.
There you go.
But
that's going to be a good fight, fun fight.
That's going to be a fight, yeah. Staples Center, Los Angeles, December 1st. So that's on Showtime pay-per-view.
Yep.
But like I said, I'm Danny Z for Michael Shepard, John Molina Jr. stopping by the studio today for episode 7 of The Last Round. Like I said, we appreciate it. Thanks again for stopping by.
Thank you guys for having me.
And tune in next week for episode 8, where we have more boxing to talk. This is The Last Round.
Last thing, though, if you guys catch me, if you don't understand what I'm saying, they will put subtitles. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Written. Yeah. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for supporting and listening to the show. Follow us at The Last Round 12 on social media. Rate, review, and subscribe. This is The Last Round Podcast.